Today we are privileged to have with us our great mayor of this city, Lori C. Moseley. Thank you for being with us, Madam Mayor.
Oh, my pleasure. Nothing better I like to do than talk about our beautiful city.
And what I'm impressed with is the fact that we have an elected official as our mayor who's literally grown up with the city. You've grown up your family in Miramar and you've grown with the city. So give us a little bit of your background and how long you've been here.
I've been here almost 30 years. I lived in University Park behind Walmart before Walmart was Walmart. I have a husband. He always laughs. I always leave him out. I really do have a husband. We'll be married 34 years, and I have two children. Jonathan's going to be 25 this month, and Alexis is 27, and they grew up in Miramar. Yeah. And I started as a PTA room mom at Fairway Elementary School, and then I don't really know what happened, but it just happened.
So you evolved with the city, so to speak.
Yes.
And so did the whole family.
Yes.
And I love the fact that everyone is planted here professionally. They didn't just grow up with the city, but they are now professionals within our area as well.
And you know, it was so exciting because as my children were growing, as my family was growing, the city was growing, and we were growing together. And I think having a young family and being involved in the Optimists, being out at Swabja, at the fields, made a big difference for me because I got to see what was really happening in the community, and I participated in our events long before I was an elected official.
Well, I think that's what makes a great elected official, is because you participated in the community as it evolved. So what kind of changes have you seen?
You know what? It's been really exciting. But I think one of the most important things that I hope hasn't changed is that we still have that small town feeling, that we still really care about each other. When I first really started to get involved with the city, our population was like 40,000. Well, today it's 122,000. But I hope and I try really hard to make sure that we all stay connected. And the way that we had to do that is because we're such a linear city, is we built 3 sites. We built the multi-service complex where the old senior center that was on Venetian definitely needed a new building, where the old city hall was. But most importantly, we kept part of the structure of the old city hall outside, because I firmly believe if you cannot know where you're going if you don't know where you came from. And then, of course, we built the town center. And then we built Sunset Lakes. But the town center is meant to be the center, because I wanted it to have that hometown feel, but it didn't have to look like an old hometown. It could look like Miramar. Hopefully we all feel the very same way that I feel about it, that this is where I live, this is my community, and I'm proud.
I am too, as a resident of the city as well. I think every piece of development, the phases from the past as well as what's going into the future, are very reflective of the diversity of our community. So what other aspects do you think have led to its growth and its success?
Well, it was really very important that we bring business and industry to the city of Miramar. So we actively pursued that to make that happen. We began to send the message that we're the place to be, that we're at the center of everything. While at the same time, we made sure that we were building quality housing and that our medians were landscaped with greenery. We visioned together. We sat down at the table. I've been doing this a little while. So it's been interesting for me to watch it evolve. I mean, because I remember when I moved into University Park, I was at the other end of the world in Miramar. And now I live west of 75, so I am at the other end, but there's still more to go. But we all had to come together to say, what do we want to look like? What is really important to us, and how are we going to make that happen? We made that happen by building 2 pools. We made that happen by building fields. We were ready to have a regional type park in our community. Well, we work with the county to make sure it happens sooner for us. But we also know that you can't just grow with recreational activities. Everybody does not want to do that. So we built a phenomenal cultural arts center, and it has a banquet hall. So you can get married here, you can have your Sweet 16 here, you can have your quince. one of the Fortune 500 companies in the city can have their meeting here because we have an 800-seat auditorium. We have phenomenal shows, and also we're able to come together in the middle, and we can have all different type of activities, because that's what Miramar is. I always say we're like a patchwork quilt. Each piece is beautiful by itself, but when you sew it together, you get Miramar. And that's why, because it's joined together. It's not just thrown together. I think we join together, and that's what makes a difference. We do whatever we can to celebrate everyone's culture. And goodness knows, everybody's here in the city of Miramar, from former New Yorkers like me to people from South America, Latin America, Cuba, Europe, from the Midwest, from all over, not only just the United States, but all over the world. They know what we know, that Miramar is the best place to be.
Well, it's such an inclusive community, and I think that's part of the beauty of it. And I've been a part of some of the planning sessions, and what I love about the city and what you're talking about is that you are inclusive of the residents. The typical resident that may be from New York or may be from out of the country or first generation from the country or second generation, they're all included around the table when it comes to planning and it comes to input for the city. And I know that they appreciate that.
Because if you don't get buy-in, because everybody's culture has something different to offer, and we work really hard to make everybody feel a piece of it and nobody take over the greater whole, if that makes sense. You know, every piece of the puzzle should fit in, and we should have, it's not we're not trying to be all things for all people, but we are, because all the people are here. And as long as everybody's at the table, I mean, I can remember when we were doing the census, and we had an outreach for the census, and we made sure that we had all different members. We had Creole speakers, we had Spanish speakers, we had English speakers, we had some individuals from Jamaica, we had pastors in the community, the youth in the community, we had business leaders, because that's what makes us who we are.
Hi, I'm Pastor Pete from Florida Bible Church and Christian School.
I'm Selena White, and I'm a parent activist.
My name is Iqbal Lakhani, member of the Asian community.
Soy Ana de la Torre, mamá y activista.
I'm Matthew Robinson, and I'm a student.
I'm Crystal Gerald's Love, parent activist.
Mi nombre es Carmen Saldívar. I am the chair of the Education Advisory Board.
My name is Alana Mersinger. I'm on the Cultural Arts Board.
My name is Sarah Charles, and I am the chair of the Miramar Youth Advisory Council.
Hi, I'm John Collier, a trustee with the Miramar Chamber of Commerce.
As members of our community, we believe that together
we can make a difference in the places we live, work, and play.
That was a powerful message, by the way. That message was actually posted on the website for the city, and I don't know that it went totally viral, but I think it went throughout the city pretty virally, and it was so inclusive, from the youth all the way to community leaders, like you said, religious leaders, as well as businesses and PTA and everybody in between.
Because I love working with the youth of the community too, because they give me an insight. My children are getting a little older, and maybe I'm getting a little older, and I'm maybe not as in tune. So if I can sit down and have a conversation with you, not from the dais, because I'd much rather sit and talk to you, and or do whatever you're doing and join whatever you're doing. And I think that's also one of my greatest joys as mayor, is I get invited, but more importantly, I am welcome to so many places in the city that everyone gets to share their different cultures, and they're so inclusive that it's just, to me, that's one of my greatest joys as the mayor. And of course, our seniors are incredible, and there's so many exciting, every time you turn around, there's something new and exciting happening here.
You've talked a little bit about our residents and our community at large. Let's get a little more specific about our culture center and the town center. What impact have you seen this development make in the community?
I actually think it's a work in progress. And point is, we're sitting in our own TV studio because we've always wanted to be able to, we had the talent, but we always wanted to be able to have a mechanism in which to be able to communicate with the public. This is a phenomenal facility. It's an 800-seat auditorium, phenomenal acoustics. There's been opera series here. Kiss Country is doing something here. Kim Wainin was here. I can't even begin to count the different groups that have been here. And the elementary schools came so they could be part of it. And this is where we do our holiday tree lighting so that the community can come together. And of course we have the banquet hall with a botanical garden that is absolutely beautiful. The botanical garden and the banquet hall are for rent.
And I love the impact that it has on the community, bringing them to city center, the center of the city, for personal activities as well as entertainment. I know some of the shows that have been coming in are pretty incredible. They're nationally renowned shows and artists from all over, dance troupes, but also the educational piece that you have in the Culture Center is pretty impactful. Not only do the students come in from the schools, but they have regular lessons and opportunities to grow in the arts there as they bring in the teachers, the professionals to teach.
It's great. Last night I was laughing. I was coming out of a meeting and it was pouring, and there were these 4 young girls standing under the portico, and I was like, oh, what were you doing? Oh, we just came from our dance lessons. We love it here. We love to come here. And truth is, it's a very safe place to come. Yeah. You could wait for your parents to come get you, but you went upstairs and you did your lessons, and then right downstairs is a theater. In the summer, they offer summer theater camps, and at the end, the students put on plays. We also have a world-class gallery downstairs that we continue to rotate. There really is a lot going on. The objective is, when we're done with this section, to have it to live, work, and play. And I always say have fun, because if you're not having fun, why do it? Right. So that is the objective as we build more housing to go around this. There's the library here, Broward College is here, there's institutes of higher learning. This is a great place to be. And you're in the center of the center.
The center of everything.
Yes.
That's right. I love that motto. We're talking a little bit about businesses earlier. What have you seen in the way of new business growth in the city?
You know, it's getting exciting. And I think part of it is, we all went through a very, very difficult time, all of us, and the economy was very, very difficult. But we as a city have now decided to thrive. Much as we thought we were the city that you should be in, and we sent that message out that we were a quality community, well, now we're making sure we're sending out the message. We are going to thrive here, and we're going to be ahead of the curve, as we are always ahead of the curve, and make sure that the welcome mat is out for the businesses that are now beginning to look. And I know you know that. The economy is starting to slowly progress. There's going to be starts and stops, but we're beginning to see movement here. We're beginning to see interest in locating businesses here, and that's what we've been waiting for. And we also know we have to be ready, and we are ready to make that happen.
Well, I know there is a lot going on in your economic development department and its staff. They're constantly on top of creating ways to make it a business-friendly city. And I hear that throughout the county. It's one of the easiest cities to do business in.
And part of that is we understood that. If we made the government procedures so difficult and so difficult to navigate, you could go down the street. I don't want you to go down the street. We want you to come here. So we understood. We have a business model here at the same time. We have a people model. We have a business model here. We understand that we are a business, and that in order for that business to grow, we have to make sure that we bring in others. Time is money, expertise is money, and we offer all of that. And I'm really excited, like 441. Those of us who have lived here a long time thought that is never, ever going to happen. Typically one of those pipe dreams that's like that's never going to happen. Well, now we're starting to see that is actually going to happen in our section, and we're actually going to see some improvements. And actually, we gave it a designation. It's called a transit-oriented corridor. For those who care, it's a TOC. But so we have made some design changes that we are going to use as we go forward, and I think we're going to see a substantial difference about that area in the city. And part of it is that area is getting old. It needed major infrastructure improvements, which aren't really pretty and are a mess when you're going through them. But now we're ready. But now we're ready for people to come in because we've made the infrastructure improvements that other cities might not have made. Now it's much easier. The water is there so that you could come in and do the business that you need to do.
Well, there are quite a few projects going on that have become public in recent months, and roads, streetscape, parking, the parks. Several parks are going through some renovation. The sports complex is getting some additional gym for the professional athletes of the area. So all of those things, from the east to the west, there's a little bit of something going on everywhere we turn around in the city, and it's all part of the capital improvement for the quality of life.
We understood through this very, very difficult financial time that maybe, just maybe, we cut back a smidgen too much. And we had to, again, readjust ourselves and say, wait a minute, our parks aren't looking the way they're supposed to look. Our medians aren't looking the way that they are supposed to look. Maybe we need to do this, and maybe we need to do that. The road from Miramar Parkway, from Palm Avenue to University, the one that goes like anybody who rides on it knows that it goes like a roll. Well, we're going to repave that road. I mean, enough is enough, but it was those type of things that, we held back on. And of course, we have the Anson Sports Complex, which has a phenomenal track, and we will have different meets there this summer. I mean, we had already had previously the Paralympics and NACAC. It's a great facility. It's the same surface as in Beijing, China, where they had the Olympics, so it's a quality facility. And we needed more soccer fields. We're going to be building more soccer fields out in the regional park. A lot of these things were things that we had talked about in the visioning, and we had talked about with the residents. But just like everybody else, we pulled back. We all did. We tightened our belt and we pulled back. But now, I think inch by inch, maybe as a family, maybe you go to the movies and you weren't going before.
Well, I think that that's something our residents really need to understand and really hear clearly today, is that the city has been very conscientious with its projects and with its improvements and prioritizing, just like we would, as you mentioned, our home budgets. When you have to cut back, you prioritize and you get to the matters that are most important. But now there's some freedom, I hear.
Yeah, inch by inch.
Little by little.
Because nobody missed these events more than me. And I love to have fun. Nobody missed Miramar Days, more than me, or some other events that we would have, or, other activities that we would have. I mean, that was part of what made us special, but that was also part of what we had the ability to pull back on. So a little by little, the commission is prioritizing, what we're going to bring back and how much we're going to bring back.
Well, Mayor, I know there's a lot we could talk about with the city. There's so much happening, and I'm so proud of our commission in the city and the job that they've done to get us through the recession. We've got green initiatives going on that we didn't even get a chance to talk about. But as we wind up, let me forecast here a little bit. It's the year 2030. What do we see in the city of Miramar?
A full-service city that has a very healthy cultural environment, a city that has more than embraced green initiatives, a city that is constantly rebuilding itself and maintaining itself to be the quality city that it is, and that maybe my children's children or your children's children will be here playing at the fields that that we left here and the quality city that we have. Most important, I hope we have residents who are engaged in their city and engaged in the process and know their neighbors, because that's what makes Miramar, Miramar.
Yeah, it's a great city. And again, thank you and the Commission in its entirety for all that you do for the city and on behalf of the city. So thank you, Mayor, for being with us. This has been Joy in Our Town, and I hope that you have enjoyed getting to know our mayor and our city a little bit better. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you.